I was at work and my mother had called me and told me that first it started out as my aunt had it. Apparently she was having shortness of breath, so she went and got tested, found out she had it. She called my mom first. My mom ended up calling my grandmother because this is so bad, but my family had been staying away from each other for a very long time, and that past week they just decided to have a big family event.
My mom and my siblings tested positive, and when they found out they were positive, it would left me being negative, and I didn't have anywhere else to go, so I didn't have no choice but to stay there and catch it. My symptoms, I just couldn't smell and taste. Everybody else was having body aches, headaches, chills, and I'm just there like, I can't smell or taste. The house could be on fire right now, and I wouldn't even know it unless I saw it.
So my mom had ended up calling my grandma about it. My grandma ended up being like, is that why I've been feeling sick for a while? So she ended up going to get tested. So at that point, everyone who was exposed inside of that setting, they all had to go and get tested from there.
We were just in shock because my family, we've been doing everything to try to avoid it. Washing our hands, spraying Lysol every time we came back to the house, wearing our mask wherever we went. Me and my siblings didn't go to school, so we were all virtual. We didn't go anywhere but to work with my mom, and she wasn't around anyone, so it was just a huge shock to everybody.
At first, it actually started out as my grandmother and my uncle being in the hospital. My grandma ended up leaving. She just does not like hospitals. And she, of course, was feeling better as well. But my uncle, his experience was kind of interesting because it felt like we were getting, I cannot emphasize enough, we did not think that was going to happen to him. Those last couple of days, still is very weird for me to process that my uncle is not in this physical world no more. Very hard for me to process.
At first, when we found out that my grandmother this woman has never been in the hospital ever, never been sick or nothing like that. When we found out she was sick, she just wasn't acting herself. She was not eating, she was acting confused, and she went to the hospital for a couple days, and they let her out with some oxygen, and she was doing fine until they had to go back because something was wrong with her oxygen. And she didn't want to go back, but as soon as she got back to that hospital, it's like everything went straight downhill.
They kept giving us hope. So that was my thing. So it would be a couple of days, and I don't think that was an intentional or type of thing. I genuinely do think that at certain points his health seemed like it was going in a positive direction. Then other days it just was going back lower. But the experience was just very hard for my family. Just overall, I have a very big, close-knit family. And my uncle he's the uncle. So that was and I never went to the hospital to see him. Could not do that. But yeah, that was a hard experience to see, it's your lively uncle, your uncle that uncle, dying for a month. That is hard for a family to experience.
My first ever loss. So it was just very hard because I was a senior in high school, and she was basically my second mother, and losing her right before all of that it was very devastating. We weren't all vaccinated at the time. That was the time that it had just came out, and it was just for the elderly. So no one was vaccinated. We got vaccinated a couple months after her death and her burial. And I didn't take it at first because I was scared of the long-time effects, and I was afraid that it was going to mess up my reproduction system. So I was hesitant about taking it until I had to realize that it's not just about me, it's about everyone around me, my whole community, my town, everyone. So I went ahead and took the vaccine. Don't be afraid of the vaccine because it's just a shot. We get shots when we're younger. Every time we have a birthday, we have to take a shot. We had to take a shot. It's no different with this. It's just like the flu shot. So grow up and get the vaccine.
Definitely understand that COVID spreading in the way that it has is not alone American citizens' fault. there is someone else to blame for that. Part of it, I will say that, you know, we have to do our part, and be responsible. Wear your mask, sanitize yourself. If you are sick, stay home. This is a virus that is literally killing people. You have to do your part.
I feel like no one takes the whole COVID situation seriously because they never lost anyone to it until they don't care until after the fact that that person that they have lost is gone and they can't do nothing about it. So at first I've been serious about it the whole time it's been around. But I'm really serious about it now because I lost my grandmother to it and now she's gone forever. She won't even see me graduate college.
Get vaccinated. I am vaccinated. A lot of people close to me are vaccinated.
So why not get the shot?